right? So now we have covered 2 sections of black box testing, right? So we have talked about this equivalence partitioning, and based on the equivalent partitioning, we will identify boundary values and we will do the testing based on these boundary values, right? So these are the 2 cases, right? So again, we have other different techniques in the black box testing also, right? So yeah, we have decision tables, and then we have state machines also, right? I will more focusing on the decision tables because it will appear on your exam paper, right? And when you do your final year project, so this decision tables would be very helpful when you we have so many different combinations of inputs, right? So the decision table is some sort of advanced black box testing, where we will create some sort of table based on the input combinations and the logic. So with the combination of these 2, we can have some sort of what actions we are going to do. So that because of that, we call this particular tables as decision tables, right? So for example, right, I will so I believe since you are engineering students, you have come up with those truth table cases. So something similar to truth table will happening inside of this decision table. 90% of truth table concepts will be there inside of the decision tables, right? So the first thing is as the first example, we will talk about the example is withdrawal is granted if requested amount is covered by the balance, or if the customer is granted credit to cover the withdrawal amount. So again, this is from the business application, bank application. So if I explain this in Sinhala, customer කෙනෙක්ට එයාගේ account එකෙන් යම් මුදල් ප්‍රමාණයක් ගන්න පුළුවන් වුණාම ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ withdraw කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ එක්කෝ ඒ bank account එකේ තියෙන balance එකෙන් අර withdraw කරන ප්‍රමාණය cover වෙනවනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ උදාහරණයක් වශයෙන් ලක්ෂයක් තියෙන bank account එකක් මිනිස්සෙක් තියෙනවා. ඒකෙන් මං ගිහින් 50000ක් ගන්නකොට ලක්ෂයෙන් 50000 cover වෙනවනේ. අන්න එහෙම scenario එකක් නම් මට withdraw කරන්න පුළුවන්. So the second case will be if the customer is granted credit over the withdrawal amount, right? මගේ account එකේ තියෙනවා ලක්ෂයක්. හැබැයි මම 1,20,000ක් ඉල්ලනවා. බැංකුව දන්නවා මෙයා හොඳට ගනුදෙනු කරන පුද්ගලයෙක්, මෙයාව අපිට විශ්වාස කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා 20,000ක් credit එකක් දෙනවා, ණයක් දෙනවා. Right? So that is the second case. So based on these 2 cases, actions, right? Cases. So we can develop a very simple decision table. So this is it. What we have to do is, so this is my case, right? Withdrawal grant is granted if requested amount is covered by the balance, or if the customer is granted credit to cover the withdrawal amount, right? So first thing is, my first condition, amount is covered by the balance. Withdraw amount is less than or equal balance, right? Second condition will be if the customer is granted credit to cover the withdrawal amount. It means credit facility granted, right? Do you understand these 2 conditions? මේ conditions දෙක තේරුණාද? in the decision table, this understanding the condition is the most critical point. The rest of things are easy, right? So the first rule will be right. Customer will withdraw a value which is less than or equal of the account balance. It means it's so if customer is satisfying this particular condition, it will be true. And if the bank is also will grant the credit facility, so that would be true. And as the second rule, we have customer will withdraw amount is less than or equal to account balance. It's true, but the bank will not grant the credit facility. So in that case, this will be false. So if the customer is withdrawing amount more than the balance, it means this. It's because basically withdrawing amount is less than or equal balance is now false because the customer is requesting to withdraw more than balance value, right? So, but the bank will be granted the credit facility. So, in this case, it will be true. So, likewise, in here you can see customer will request to withdraw amount is less than or equal balance is false. It means customer will withdraw money more than the balance, but again in here the bank will not grant the credit facility. So these are our two conditions, and based on the two conditions we have 4 rules. So it means, so you can see now there is a connection, right? We have 2 conditions and we know each condition can either true or false, right? So as a fact, what is happening? 2 to the power 2 equals 4. So you can see, right? 2 to the power, so we know we can either true or false, right? 2 to the power 4 is our possible rules, right? 2 to the power 2. 4 rules will appear. So these rules will be your input combinations. So when you understand these conditions and set of rules, right, then you can simply go for the action section. So basically the action will be withdrawal granting, right? So we know according to our business logic, given business logic. So if the withdrawal amount is covered by the balance in these 2, even the bank is granting the credit or not granting the credit, there is no worries, we can get the money, right? But the case is when we are requesting more than balance amount to credit, balance of the account, to withdraw. And in one case, the bank will granted the credit, so customer can get the withdrawal, do the withdrawal. But let's assume the customer is requesting more than the balanced value to withdraw, and the bank is not facilitated by the credit, so customer can't get the money, right? So this will be your decision table, right? Got the point? Make a therunada? Okay, the same thing we are doing in the truth tables. Nothing difference, but the case is truth table වල ලියන orientation එක අපි අනිත් පැත්තට තමයි මෙතන ලියලා තියෙන්නේ. වචන ටික පොඩ්ඩක් වෙනස් කරලා තියෙනවා. Conditions, rules and action. Right? And the case is in here it's very easy. We are only having 4 rules. Right? So I have, when I was requested to do some sort of testing for a what we call sure, I can't remember, in some sort of section in what we call form and different UIs, right? Different set of results. So I will tell what is that number. If I done the all possible value, okay. I like, just for my understanding, I have draw my decision table, right? So actually I try to draw the decision table. So I have 32 conditions to satisfy. It means this section is going up to 32. So if I try to do the what we call all possible testing, so my I have to prepare, I have to do testing for 2 to the power 32 times, right? That is a very huge number, right? So since those kind of things are happening, and we can collapse those things based on the common behaviors, we can merge set of rules and reduce the input combination, right? So for example, if I go to this particular table, so you can see I have false and true actions. It means this particular action can be performed or not, right? So, and when it comes to this withdrawal for the first condition, so I have two cases, true and false. Again, credit facility granted, so I have true and I have false also. And then I can have a chance, right, to combine set of rules together, right? So I will show you how you do it. So first thing is, I go to this action section. So I can here, I have false and these 3 are true. But I have only 4 possible rules to cover. So false is only appearing in one special case. So I am not going to touch rule 4, right? So that is the only action that I can get negative results. So that should be tested. But I can have 3 different cases in withdrawal granted action is true. Withdrawal granted can be done, right? Then I will go to the rules or the rules and the condition section, right? I will check each and every condition whether I can overlap one or more rules, two or more rules. So if I go to withdrawal amount balance is true, so I can't touch this one, right? I'm not considering about this section. So I have withdrawal amount balance is true in two rules and one rule is false. In the credit facility granted, again I have two cases which is true, but one is false, right? But as a common sense and according to the business logic, right? If the customer is asking to withdraw amount, which the withdrawal amount is equal or less than to the account balance, that is that particular, or I mean this section, right, is not affecting from this. බැංකුවකට ගිහිල්ලා මිනිස්සෙක් account එකකින් සල්ලි ගන්න හදනවා. එයා ගන්න account එකේ ගන්න amount එක withdraw කරන amount එක බැංකුවේ තියෙන balance එකට වඩා කුඩා එකක් හරි සමාන අගයක් නම් බැංකුව credit එක දුන්නත් එකයි නැතත් එකයි මිනිස්සුන්ට සල්ලි ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So that is in here. That is what is happening in here. Sorry. But when it comes to the rule number 3, withdraw amount එක false. ඒ කියන්නේ මිනිස්සයා බැංකුවේ වැඩි මුදලක් ගන්නවා account එකේ තියෙන ප්‍රමාණයට වඩා. නමුත් බැංකුව credit එකක් දෙනවා. So මෙතන මේ credit එකක් දෙන එක නිසා තමයි මෙයාට මේක false වුණත් මේක true වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. So again we are not going to collapse this one. අපි මේක තව කාත් එක්කවත් merge කරන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද එයා true කියන action එක දුන්නට එයාගේ rules වල rule එකේ conditions එක ගිහිල්ලා තියෙන business logic එක අනුව මෙයා specific case එකක්, මෙයා important case එකක්. So we are not going to touch the rule number 3 also. But when it comes to rule number 1 and 2, මෙතනදී first condition එක okay. බැංකුව credit facility එක දුන්නත් නැතත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. withdraw කරන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද එයා බැංකුවේ ප්‍රමාණයට තමයි උපරිම සල්ලි ඉල්ලන්නේ. So credit එක තිබ්බත් එකයි නැතත් එකයි. So in that case we can combine these two rules together, right? So in here how we are going to do is, so that this and this is true. So our new collapse column will be something, the withdraw amount is less than or equal to the balance is true, but the credit facility is no point of doing there. Credit එක තිබ්බත් එකයි නැතත් එකයි. So in that case we simply we do not consider something like, so we the value is not considered කියලා අපි මෙහෙම පොඩි කැටි එකක් දාලා හිස්තැනක් තියනවා. එතකොට so that's how we create the collapse decision table, right? So this will be, so you can see I have collapsed these two tables into one, right? So that is how we are doing these decision tables, right? So Nirma and Tihara, then you have so many inputs and so many combinations. Don't worry, you are not going to test each and every point. You simply develop a decision table and try to overlap possible columns, right? So this is the explained version, right? ඒක තේරුණාද? Did you understand? Okay. So if I ask you to develop your own decision table based on whatever scenario and produce me a original decision table and the collapse decision table. So you can do it, right? Is that what you mean by yes? You guys can do it, right? Even I was an IT guy and I have done those things. You are engineering people, so your capacity is much more than IT students, right? You can do it. And then we have another case called state transition. So state transition is another black box testing technique where we more focus on embedded systems. So hardware IoT තියෙනවා නම් තමයි state transition කියන එක ගොඩාක්ම වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. So especially I think in the Tihara case, you have different sensors. I don't know whether you are getting from a device or you are, I don't know, I don't have that idea, right? So if you are collecting different values from IoT devices, so state transition will be a useful technique when it comes to those kind of embedded related or IoT related projects, right? So we have a special table called state table. So state tables will represent different relationships between states and inputs, and also in some cases the state table will give what are the valid cases and invalid cases also. For example, sorry. So something like, so if you switch on there is a very simple circuit with the LED bulb, right? And when your circuit is open, or it means switch on, so you know the bulb will on, right? But if your circuit is but if your whatever switch is off, bulb is also off, right? But there is no possibility of having state or the having scenario when you switch off your circuit, your bulb can't be on, right? I'm talking about very simple diagram, right? Like bulb circuit, right? Not a complex one, right? So likewise we can have those things, those valid and invalid cases, right? So based on these sequence of states, we can, and the relationship between each and every state, we can design our test. So we will go to the example, right? And yeah, so before talking about the example, I will go with 3 different terminologies. So we have, in a state transition case, we have dynamic model, event, and state. So in the dynamic model, so it will describe aspects that change over time. So the dynamic material changes dynamic. So in the state, so when you cover the state transition diagrams in the UML or the software modeling subject, or in whatever other case, other module, so we have a special diagram type called state transition. So it has different status and different transmissions, and so it will show the valid transitions. And like I said, switching on the bulb, switching off the bulb, etc., right? So dynamic model is something similar to state transition diagram, not something similar, exactly the state transition diagram. And we have event, word called event. So event is something that happens at the point in time. යම් කිසි දෙයක් සිද්ධ වෙනවා නම් මොකක් හරි දීලා තියෙන කාලරාමුවක් තුල අපි ඒකට කියන event එකක් කියලා. the state will be based on the event, object will change their state. For example, අපි වතුර ටිකක් කරන් sorry අපි ice කැටයක් කරන් ඕක රත් කරන්න පටන් ගත්තට පස්සේ ඝන තත්වයේ තියෙන solid level එකේ තියෙන water මොකද වෙන්නේ? ද්‍රව තත්ත්වයට එනවා. ඊට පස්සේ තවත් තත් කරාම ඒක වාෂ්ප කියන වාත කියන එයා කියන ස්ටේට් එකට චේන්ජ් වෙනවා. ඕ වගේ දෙයක් තමයි මේ ස්ටේට් කියලා කියන්නේ. එයාට සිද්ධ වෙන ඉවෙන්ට් එක අනුව එයා යාගේ ස්ටේට් එක චේන්ජ් කරනවා. සමහරවිට චේන්ජ් නොවෙන්නත් පුළුවන්, right? But most of the cases state එක change වෙනවා. A state correspond to interval between two events received by an object, right? So if we go to this one, yeah. So this is the simple case. So we have bulb, light bulb, and off and on is there, and in some cases we can have a fault, right? So so our start state will be off. පටන් ගන්නේ off කියන state එකේ. circuit එක මෙතන off කියන button එක press වෙලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට switch on එක input කරනවා. first input එක හැටියට. එතකොට අපි switch එක on කරොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? light එක on වෙන්න ඕන. right? So the finished state will be on, right? So I clear it, right? Right? Methana start and finish state එක කතා කරන්න අපි අපේ light bulb එකේ, right? So light bulb එක off වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. අපි switch එක on කරනවා, light එක on වෙනවා. අපි ආයෙත් light එක off කරන්න යන්නේ නැති නිසා light bulb එක on state එකේමයි තියෙන්නේ. finish වෙන්නේ ඒ විදිහට. පැහැදිලිද? So when it comes to test 2, so our light bulb is in the on state. පත් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. So then we will switch off our light, then light should be off, and then the state will be finished state will be off. Right? And let's assume there is some sort of case, right? High electricity or damage to a fuse or whatever, right? Wire or whatever was happened, we don't know, right? And when we do the test 3, our switch is on, I mean the light bulb is on, then we give the input as switch off. We simply press the switch off, but there is some sort of fault. Since so we know api switch එක off කරොත් light එක off වෙනවා පොතේ හැටියට. According to the test 2, that is happening. But due to some sort of fault, switch එක off කරත් bulb එක on එකේමයි තියෙන්නේ. So in that case we can what we call yeah, there is a fault. Okay, so that is the state transition diagram. ගැටලු තියෙනවද මොනවා හරි? So when you do the electronics lab or these kind of labs, right? ඕගොල්ලෝ දීලා තියෙන විදිහට circuit එක හදලා ඒක අර ඕගොල්ලෝ එක එක meters පාවිච්චි කරලා හරි bulb එකක් පත්තු කරලා හරි බලනවනේ. මොකක් හරි bulb එක අපි හිතමු සම්පූර්ණව ඔක්කොම කරලා bulb එක පත්තු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට ඔයා කල්පනා කරනවා මෙතන on කරා මේක මෙහෙම වුණා මෙතන electricity එකක් කරනවා. අන්න ඒ වගේ දෙයක් තමයි මේ state transition වලින් කරන්නේ. අපි ඒක මොලෙන්නේ map කරන්නේ, right? So light bulb එකක circuit එකක් අපිට මොලෙන් map කරන්න පුළුවන්. But when it comes to very high end robot, right? When it comes to a very complex IoT system, so අපිට ටිකක් ඔක ඔලුවෙන් කරන්න අමාරු නිසා තමයි ඔය state transition කියන එකට යන්නේ. මේක මේ බොහොම සරල අවස්ථාවකට අපි අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ, right? So we have, since like this black box testing are very important, right? Black box and white box testing are very important. You have to do different activities, right? So you will have the second activity. So you have a very simple activity. You have to go through it, and you have to develop a equivalent partition and boundary value analysis. So this case is similar to our discount case, right? And then we have the third activity. So it's also a discount case, right? So in the third activity also you have to develop the what we call some, right? I have it now. Right, you have to develop this equivalent partition and the bound value analysis. And for the as the activity 4, right? So you have to create the collapse decision table based on this activity 3, right? මුලින් ඕගොල්ලෝ equivalent partition කරලා boundary value analysis කරාට පස්සේ ඕගොල්ලන්ට decision table එක ගොඩනගන්න පුළුවන්, right? ඊට පස්සේ ඒක collapse කරලා මට ඒක submit කරන්න, right? So these are 3 activities. Sorry, 3 activities that you have to do. And again, I will give 2 weeks to complete this quiz number 2. So you will have MCQ around 20 MCQs in black box testing, 2 lectures, right? So these are today's session. Yeah. So